All right. Looks like we're live, gentlemen. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to our once a year pre-Black Friday, pre-Q4 early season webinar. We got some awesome content for you guys today and tomorrow. So we're going to take just a couple minutes and let you guys all pour in. Fair warning, we've had the most people register for this preseason Q4 training series than we've ever had. And that was a little surprising, frankly, but we're happy to have you guys here. You should all fit. We're probably going to max out the room, though. So as you guys are joining, I'm going to say what's up to Grant and Taylor in just a second. Just type in chat where you guys are from. I always love seeing where you guys are from. This is going to be interactive today. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of great content. This is going to be real in the trenches stuff that you won't hear other places. Grant has graciously agreed to peel back the curtain on his store and share some stuff. This isn't theory. This is actionable content. So I'm going to say what's up to a couple people. First off, Grant. I'm joined by my partner, Grant Dunn, 10-year veteran. I think 10 plus, 11. I can't keep track of how many years. You've been selling on Amazon. In human years, that's like 40 years of a career. So, yeah. Welcome, Grant.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm super excited to be sharing what we're going to be talking about today, and a little nervous, of course, but hoping that we got some good stuff to share with everybody. So
awesome. So Grant's here, and then we're also joined by Taylor. He does a lot of the sourcing for your Amazon store, also runs the lead list, also manages our VAs, also manages our software team. Taylor wears a lot of different hats. He helped set up a lot of this tech. So Taylor, appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited. We get another year Cheddar Black. I think this is our 7th year of Cheddar Black. 7th. Yes.
Yeah,
so
7, man.
'Tis the season.
So here's the deal. We're going to give people about 2 minutes here to come in. I'm going to say what's up to a bunch of you guys. Massachusetts in the house. Dave Barnett from Ohio. Barry from Mississippi. Jamie from Idaho. What's up, Jamie? Tim from Minnesota, Glenn Garvin, Quinn Creek, Arizona. I think there's 2 or 3 of you guys, Glenn, from Arizona. I think Ed Dassey's Arizona. Patty, South Carolina. Melissa, Hotlanta, Georgia. Tammy from Michigan. So appreciate you guys all being here, tuning in. Today's topic is how Grant merchant fulfilled $9,200, $9,265 to be specific. Last Q4, he did this in 32 days, and he did it working by himself with a little help from his, how old is Xander? 4 years old? 5?
Oh, no, he just turned 10, actually.
He turned 10. Okay.
Yeah,
his 10-year-old helped him with this, guys. So if you guys have kids, it's a great strategy. You guys can bring your kids into this. And it's something you can do on top of your normal FBA activities. And I can say that with confidence. Grant's, he's crushing it this year. He's on pace to double his store. He's had $1 million a year store for several years in a row now. And a lot of that runs on systems. We're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow. But it's something you can stack right on top. So if you guys are ready to get started, let's put some yeses in chat. Just type yes if you guys are excited to be here and you're ready to get started, and we'll jam.
I'm ready.
Grant's ready. Melissa, yes, it's full-time. He used to be a plumber and got sick of being on the road away from his kids, and the pain was great enough in his day job to transition into Amazon. Believe it or not, it was worse being a plumber than it is being an Amazon seller. So if you guys are frustrated if you're frustrated with Amazon, it's better than it can look. I get it.
I just remind myself of crawl spaces with mice, turds, and spiders. You know what I mean? That's all. I gotta remember.
I just fixed my.
I will make this work.
Yeah. All right, you guys are ready. So let's rock and roll, man. It's the top of the hour. I'm gonna tell you guys right up front. Carve out about 90 minutes. Get a cup of water, a cup of coffee. This is meant to be interactive. Get a piece of paper and a pen. You're gonna want to take notes today. So Grant, let's get started. This is how Grant Merchant fulfilled $9,265 on profit. It was about 52 grand worth of sales. He's gonna show that in a little bit in 32 days. This is very important. This is time-sensitive information that you're only going to learn here. If you guys have been on our webinars before, y'all know these things are interactive. We're going to be having a conversation here. So you guys are already saying hi in chat, post where you're from. That's how you're going to get the most out of this. So engage. That's where you're going to have fun. And fair commercial, okay? While you guys are all here and you're fresh, this is part 1. Part 2 is happening tomorrow, same time, same channel. And I would argue it's equally, if not more important topic. It's been a brutal year for a lot of sellers. Section 3 wiped out a ton of our industry. Amazon did it again. And this was not only the first time Grant has been suspended, but the second time. And he has been reinstated both. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And he made a goal earlier this year to double his store. So we're going to talk about the levers he pulled tomorrow on tomorrow's webinar. So make sure you tune back in, save it on your phone right now while you're fresh. Tomorrow is Saturday, August 24th. And we'll look forward to having you guys back. So agenda, very quickly for this morning, we got 3 simple things we want to cover today. We're going to talk about the schedule for pre-Q4. Now, I know it's the end of August that we're shooting this, and I'm very thankful, Grant. We used to do, man, back in the day, I think our first Black Friday package, we released it like in the end of October, I think, or something. It was like super late in the season. We've gotten better over the years, and we want to be early. And the benefit to being early is you guys can be prepared and have peace of mind when you go into Q4 rather than like the helter-skelter craziness that most sellers experience. So preparation is key for that. So we're going to talk about the schedule. Second thing we're going to talk about, Grant's going to go deep dive into his merchant fulfilled strategy. Some of you guys are already doing merchant fulfilling. Some of you would like to. Some of you are going to pick up a couple little gold nuggets. If you can pull away one gold nugget for today, I would set that intention to benefit your business. And then after that, we're going to do something else special today. Something we've never done before. And that is we're going to open up registration publicly for Cheddar Black 2024 live on today's call. So make sure you stay till the end. You're going to want to be a part of that. We've got some new things planned for this year, things that even our current 2023 members don't know about yet. We haven't announced it yet. So we got some new bonuses and some new things, and we've poured on the value. Grant, I don't know how much more we can stack into this thing, but you guys are going to want to be a part of that. So stick around for that at the end. So here's our ethical bribe, okay? Full transparency. That's why my hands are up like this. We want to teach you guys how you can take this information today and go make an extra 10 grand with it so that you'll have the confidence to invest in Cheddar Black and have the whole program prepaid for before we even start. So how's that for transparency? Are you guys cool if we share some content and then do an offer at the end of the webinar? Are you guys cool with that? Type a yes in chat if you're cool with that, if you're up for that. Okay. So carve out the next 90 minutes. We're going to go deep with this. Make sure you watch this presentation all the way to the end. And to get started, Grant, I got to set the table here just a second because you've been selling, you did like $1 million. I'm going to butcher your numbers, like $1.3 million, $1.4 million, something like that last year in revenue. You've done that for several years in a row. So my first question for you is why? What was the starter, the prompt? Why did you feel the urge to do FBM when you've already got all these systems in place for your FBA business?
Maybe I'm a little crazy, but no, the real answer is, we set out to double the store last year. I'll be talking a lot about that tomorrow. I found some online mentors, some podcast mentors, and I was listening to these young guns talking about how merchant fulfill is such a powerful strategy for new sellers because it takes a lot of the guesswork out, right? And I think the barrier of entry or even just, making mistakes are limited with FBM because especially with peak season FBM, you're buying right in season. You guys have been around for a while. You know that I've done FBM every Q4 except for last year. So they're not last year, but the year before, literally did none. We went full prep center, got rid of the warehouse. Everybody went remote and we did like literally 0 FBM in 2022. And then last year I just was inspired. I learned some tactics and strategy and competitive edges that I'll be talking about today on the call. And I got kind of excited and but not too excited. I told Taylor and the sourcing team, I was like, hey guys, send me some FBM like specific stuff and I'll tinker with it. So I kind of set my garage back up as like a little shipping station. And what happened was Black Friday like popped off and I got super pumped and I was like, okay, I should do more of this like right now. I've got a couple of weeks to kind of catch up. So what you guys like, what I'm going to be talking about today was really an afterthought last year. Like my preparation for this season started when I started putting together this presentation. So I'm going to be way more prepared this year than I was last year. But yeah, once things just started picking up, I got excited. And before when I did FBM, it was always like, hey, Taylor, hey, Charles, we're going to do a little of this you guys do it. And I just was like hands off, focused on other projects. This was the first time where I was like all in by myself doing the physical labor, and I had a blast. So I'm excited to do it again this year and share with you guys my plan.
So let me just edify you real quick, Grant. Then I'm going to turn the floor over, and we're going to let you share this nuggets here. So Grant, you really you've humbled yourself in the past year, and we've had several good years in a row as a team, as a company. Your store, the last like 4 years have been good, and then the past year has been tough for us too. Full transparency, just like you guys. Like we've had challenges with our team. We've had, seems like just when it rains it pours. So Grant took this approach. We have a call every Tuesday together, just him and I. And he's like, dude, I feel like I just got to get back to basics. And he's like, I'm just going to humble myself. He bought a couple new courses and programs, joined some new groups, just kind of plugged back into the community, just like you guys do. And he's like, I got to learn some new things. I've been cruising for a while on autopilot. He's like, I got to learn some new things. And this was one of the ones that he learned. And the second thing that we're going to share tomorrow is some of the levers he pulled on how to double the store. So this is coming from a fresh place. Grant, I'm excited to learn here too. So I'm going to click over. And let's go ahead and get started and start talking about the schedule. I'll turn over presentation slides to you here, and let's go ahead and jam.
All right, here we go. So, oops, let me click on the presentation there. All right, so we're going to talk about the schedule first, guys. Obviously, we should be doing FBA now and all the way through the end of the year. But the sorry, I got a little distracted there for a second. So FBA all the way through the end of the year. However, right around, I would say somewhere between the 1st and the 15th of November is when you're not going to be shipping stuff into FBA with it being received and available for sale early enough to be sold before Christmas. So sometime in the early part of November, at the very latest, maybe the 15th of November, we've got to like full focus on whatever we're going to sell during Christmas, whatever we're going to buy and source for. If it's going to be for Christmas or pre-Christmas inventory, it's got to be merchant fulfilled. So we got to kind of flip that switch sometime in the middle of November. In this example, I put it as the 16th. So we got to start switching. Now, I'm going to continue, and I would advise you to continue to buy and ship into FBA through the end of November, all the way through December, but with the intent of you're going to be buying inventory to sell in January and February. So it's important to be looking at your Keepa analytics and stuff like that to make sure that you're buying correctly for FBA at that time of the year. Now, I put this little sprinter on the 22nd of November because that's when I think the FBM sprint really starts. And that's because the early Black Friday sales that are really going to run all through November, but the early Black Friday sales are really going to light up the weekend before Black Friday. So the 23rd, that weekend, you should be seeing some pretty good early Black Friday opportunities showing up. And last year, that's when Taylor actually, I think, and maybe I jumped in a little bit, we started buying video games and other things from the early Black Friday sales to get listed FBM during the following week. So that's what you'll be doing. You'll be ordering early Black Friday sales throughout the November. And then by really like Thanksgiving, you should have a lot of that stuff already received in the mail, or if you're doing store pickups or whatever, received in the mail, listed FBA, and available for sale on the 29th or Black Friday. Now, it's interesting. Black Friday is pretty late in November this year, and Cyber Monday is also very late. It's actually in December, which is interesting. For me, guys, you're going to see in the screenshots I'm going to share today that Black Friday and Cyber Monday were actually the best days I had, FBA and FBM. So, however, I can get into this later. So, however, the peak demand will probably kick off somewhere around the 10th. And what I mean by that is that's when consumers realize that they're starting to run out of time. Like they've gone in store, they've taken advantage of the Black Friday retail opportunities and all that stuff. And they're starting to run out of time to get stuff ordered that they haven't already gotten yet and delivered in time for Christmas. And the reason I put these dates, the 10th through the 18th, and really even bumping into the 20th, is because I started to see people pay premium pricing for shipping because they needed stuff, like they wanted to get it to them in 2 days because Christmas was right around the corner. What I will tell you though, and the reason I would say in the 18th, that's when, like probably even earlier, the 17th, 18th, 19th, I'm going to start looking at what I have left in my merchant fulfill inventory and deciding if I need to figure out how to get it sold and sold fast. Obviously, we celebrate the birth of Jesus on the 25th. It's the reason for the season, and we're grateful for Jesus Christ. Okay. So peak season 2023 in review. I'm going to be talking about exactly what it looked like for me. Hopefully this inspires you guys, inspires belief, motivates you. I don't pretend to be like the guru of merchant fulfill or even selling on Amazon. I have my superpower, if I had anything, is literally just taking action and then identifying problems and fixing them as I go. I'm not the guy that like tries to have it all dialed in before I start. So here we're looking at my FBA sales and Amazon merchant fulfill sales between the 17th of November and the 25th. And I picked this 37-day range just so you could kind of see the Keepa graph and the trend of ordered units and product sales. You can see there the second best day I had, or the first big burst that I had in sales in general, was the Black Friday of last year. And then the best day I had in revenue and units sold was Cyber Monday. A lot of that was influenced by the merchant fulfill stuff I'm going to be talking about today.
Taylor, real quick, can you guys still see us? I saw the grant popped off. I think we're still good. Can you guys still hear us? Type a yes in chat if you guys can, if we're coming in clear. Grant, what I'm noticing right off the bat in your sales, 262,000 in ordered product sales in a 30-day window. How much is that up from last year?
Well, that's actually a 37-day window. And the reason why I grabbed that bigger window for this slide is so I wanted people to see like how I was really like flatlining. And then there was a huge spike with Black Friday. And that was during that, but before the Black Friday spike, that's when I was receiving early Black Friday sales inventory that I purchased, and I was getting it listed FBM and then waiting for basically in some of the cases Amazon to go out of stock so that the price would go back up, because Amazon price matches. We'll talk about that. And so I really wanted people to see that. So the best 30-day or the best month I had, and I'll be talking about that, I think, on this slide deck, if not tomorrow. I had my first $200,000 month ever in my Amazon career in December of last year, right? But that wasn't the goal. So, but we've, but yeah, so super cool.
I mean, props though, dude. You no, with all respect, like you mean your previous job, you were a plumber, blue collar guy, and if you can learn how to sell 200,000 on Amazon, that I hope that inspires somebody that's on here that maybe is on.
For sure.
That's our goal, guys. If you're on this path, we all come from different backgrounds. Like, you can do this, and that's part of what we want to share with you today. So very cool, man. I got a golf clap for you, because we don't, as entrepreneurs, we don't get the accolades as much. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get hated on if you celebrate your success.
Yeah.
In this industry.
Cool.
So cool. All right. So the following slide here, we're looking at the same date range. This is just my fulfilled by merchant sales, 53,000. Again, 37-day window, not a 30-day. So we're not talking about that yet. But again, you can see the spike on Black Friday, Cyber Monday being a standout. I can tell you guys right now, I was absolutely stressed the heck out during that weekend, because I had never fulfilled more than a handful of merchant fulfilled products in a single day. And we're talking hundreds. So it was nuts. Okay, right here, we're looking at the Black Friday through Cyber Monday FBM. So this is just that Friday through Monday block of time. FBM, $19,000 in sales, a total of 418 orders. You guys, I was bottlenecked. It was actually crazy. Like I think there was even a point where I was. Well, let me talk about that on a future slide, because I got something to share with you guys. So we did FBM. $9,265,000, everything we've been talking about and getting you guys to show up for this call between the 20th of November to the 20th of December, 32 days. I tested 89 FBM listings. Okay. Some of that was just the team buying a couple things and shipping them to my house, and then me posting them up and going from there. The real winners were the things, if I'm being honest, the real winners were outside of the video games and stuff, was the stuff that I just kind of sifted through CheddarSoft and all of the data that Cheddar had delivered, OA Cheddar had delivered either through Black Friday or otherwise, and tested those things out. So $50,000 in FBM sales, 1,100 sale items, about $778 average profit per sale for the $9,000. Okay, so this is what I was saving for the talk about what happened during like Cyber Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, I got super hyped up. And so Black Friday hit, and I started watching these like video games selling and other things that I had kind of pre-bought and stuff. And I got super stoked, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing that I'm gonna do these strategies that I've been learning over the last few months, like listening to podcasts and stuff. And so I start going on. I'm like, okay, what can I pick up? So mostly Walmart. Of course, I bought a bunch more stuff online. You know, I was placing orders online, but then I was like, what can I get right now? Because I want to get this stuff in my hands, and I want to sell it through like Cyber Monday. And so I was buying video games, and I was doing in-store pickups and stuff. And I'll get into more of that later. But I basically like stocked up and bought like hundreds of games over a couple of days. But that was in lieu of not shipping stuff out right away. And then like if I would have been paying closer attention or had Taylor like helping me, I would have had him raise prices a little bit, because I think I could have captured higher profits, not only higher profits, and slowed down the sale a little bit. But anyway, it ended up getting to the point where I think I had like 200 orders to fill, and it was late at night, and I went and looked, and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm like late on a couple things already. How am I going to keep up with this? And so like I'm having a panic attack. I go to my young boy, 9 years old. Sorry, I love my kids so much, and this kid loves me so much, and so I go to him. I'm like, I need your help, bud, and you're going to stay up late tonight. You cool with that? And he's like, let's go. So you can imagine him standing at that computer, printing off shipping labels. It was actually a stressful time, so it's actually I'm kind of feeling it right now. Let me get past this. Deep breath. All right, I was stressed out, but it was fun. And my son was next to me printing out shipping labels. So I'm packing up envelopes, slapping labels on video games, and he's going to the next one. And you know, hate to say, there's a couple times where I kind of yelled at him, and he was like, but he was cool with it. You know, so I got stressed out. Anyway, it was fun. We had a ton of fun. That's my little corner of the world right there for Merchant Fulfill guys. A table risers, garbage cans, some shelving, and a bunch of crap in boxes that we're pumping out. So nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be fancy.
So thanks for sharing that, dude. Guys, Grant does this. This is real. This just happens. So the point is, Grant, no other employees. It was you and your 10-year-old, and you can crank this out and you can do the work. So, and you can do it in the corner of your garage. So there's no excuses. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So no fancy warehouse. I just want to put that on the table. Everyone, I think a lot of times, you know, Grant, we all get guilty of this. You know, I have different mentors on the internet, and I think we put them on pedestals. And it's important for you guys to know that we're real people just like you. Like, you know, Grant's warehouse isn't anything special. Like, you know, if he can do it, you can do it. And that's the point that I want to get across. So appreciate the authenticity, man.
Of course, my pleasure. All right, moving on. So here's a couple photos of the work that me and Xander did. Just filling up the back of my wife's car. She was my delivery or my drop-off girl. And so she took care of all of that. There's a couple things covered up on this because the slides moved over and it didn't do exactly what we wanted it to, but this is just the type of product. So guys, when I put this slide together, I just went into Seller Central. I searched by the listings I created Merchant Fulfill during the 20th of November through the 20th of December. And I just started scrolling through. I'm like, what type of products worked out, right? And so Christmas tree ornaments, decorations, Disney stuff. Behind there is Christmas lighting worked for us in different, you know, it's not like I had 14 different Christmas lighting things. I had like one or two that worked for us. Funko Pops, candy, books. Below there is some perfume. We did perfumes. Vinyl records. I learned, and again, never shipped media before, learned that, hey, a 3-pack of vinyls is actually kind of heavy, but it still only costs like $5 or $6 to ship, which was kind of cool. So if you're not aware of like how cheap media mail is, you might make the mistake of not buying good media items that are often a lot cheaper to ship than maybe what your calculator on Amazon is showing you. Watches, and then of course video games.
Grant, I'm just gonna ask some quick questions. So if that's okay, if I just interrupt your presentation periodically. So sure, these are good. If you guys have questions from in chat, Cheryl's asking, and everybody wants to know, where did you get the leads from these products? So we're using VQ or Keepa to find the items, or are they coming from a list? Like, where's most of this coming from?
All of it's coming from OA Cheddar. Yeah, our whole business is built is really the foundation of our business. Obviously, is inventory, right? And it's OA Cheddar. It's been that way for the last 4 years, 5 years.
So Black Friday list or Christmas chunks?
Black Friday list, Christmas chunks, and then obviously the other lead list that we deliver.
Okay.
So I was going through my system and kind of just pulling out like different. I was just researching and found a cool item. I'm like, I think that's going to do good now. It's doing good now, and I think it could even do better in a couple weeks. I'm going to grab that.
Right
And
on.
then
Cool.
I'll talk about this more. But when I found something that worked, I saw it popping sales. I also would find that I could sell it for more than what the price is. Then I was placing reorders right there in the mix of the season. And 4 or 5 days later, it would deliver, and I'd get it listed, and it would start selling again.
Cool.
So, and I was trying to place the reorders before I went out of stock, of course. Not everything got reordered. I had like a handful, literally a handful of SKUs that I reordered heavily. Cool.
Right on.
Okay, so let's jump into video games specifically, guys. This is stuff we've talked about over the years. I love video games. It's easy. They're small. They're light. They fit into a padded envelope. I realize not everybody can sell video games, or there's other, complications with that or whatever, but this is something that we basically tinkered with for years now. But this is the first time that in a while where like we went and bought a bunch, and the first time where I did it myself. So, again, I want to say too that the team bought some video games in the early Black Friday sales, which is what really spurred this on for me and got me pumped, because I saw that stuff happen on Black Friday, and it was like, I was almost kind of late, like personally late. The team wasn't, but I was personally late to like jump in and get excited. So PS4, PS5, there was 15 titles, 221 copies, $1,600 in profit. Nintendo Switch, 7 titles, 103 copies, $6.50 average profit. Xbox, 6 titles, 79 copies, $8 average profit. So 28 titles. So there's 28 different video game titles that I was purchasing, 403 copies sold for about $3,000 in profit. The retailers for video games for me, the primary one was Walmart by a long shot, probably secondary Amazon, and then Target, Best Buy, and GameStop. I can't seem to place orders on GameStop without getting canceled, so that won't be a source for me this year. So yeah, there you have it. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is an example of a video game, a peak season video game. You could see here where you could buy it from Amazon for $30. They're price matching other early Black Friday sales. You can see there, what is that, like the 18th, 19th of November. So again, not only can you buy directly from Walmart and Target, these other locations, but you can buy from Amazon. And that is something that I practice. So, some people would be afraid, and we've heard these types of fears before people ask questions. Well, what if Amazon's price matching the $30? Well, not forever. If it's a $60 video game or a $50 video game, it's not going to be $30 forever. So this would be an example of something you could source from Walmart, for example, and Amazon, selling for $50. And by the way, just because the $47 to $50 is where the low FBM price is, that doesn't mean that's where you have to sell. I was often, not on all video games, but on several video games, I was able to sell them for $1 to $2 more than the lowest offer price. But I would also say too, you don't want to be like hanging on to video games much, as you can even see here. You get into like mid-December and you're running out of time. So this is video games for me is like, it's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then like that following week, I'm trying to get rid of all of it.
Quick question, Grant. And good question. So Alan asked a question about shipping. How do you calculate shipping before buying prices? Like all this stuff is light. Do you have like a blanket?
I love this question. I love this question because like I don't have like this systematic answer. It's all guessing, right? And it's all from experience. So I can now, because I've tested, and this is again what I said earlier on the call. If I have a superpower, it's the ability to just go, F it. I'm going to try it. And it's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't, I'll learn from it. And so what's happened over time is I can look at a product, I can look at the weight and the dimensions and go, that's probably going to cost me about $10 to ship. The calculators are usually wrong, right? That when they auto-populate like a shipping cost. So I just kind of guesswork it. You could go into, for example, an option for you. If you really want to know, go to pirateship.com. Take the dimensions of the product and the weight, stick it in there with like an address that's like somewhere in the median range from your home or from wherever you're going to ship from, and then see what the price of the shipping label is. Because generally the shipping labels on Pirate Ship are not much more expensive than what you're going to get on Amazon. Sometimes they're even cheaper. So that's a way for you could actually just start training yourself of like, okay, I'm looking at a box of a pair of, shoes, size 12, men's, right? Those are going to be heavier and bigger than a women's size 7. What is it going to cost? Well, I can tell you it's going to be like 15, 16 bucks, probably in the range, maybe 12 if you're shipping it in, within your region. Because it depends on how far it's going. If I'm shipping to New Jersey versus Idaho, right, it's going to be a different scenario.
Okay, so there's a little fluctuation. Like this isn't an exact science like FBA where you can calculate down to the penny how much this is. Some items you're going to make more profit on because you're going to ship it an hour away, and some items you're going to spend more, and that's just part of the ebbs and flow. You're going more for volume, is what I'm sounding like. So,
correct.
Cool.
And I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I mean, I just gave you guys an example. If you know nothing about FBM or what it'll cost you, use Pirate Ship and just run a test label through there. You don't have to purchase it, obviously, and see what it'll cost you. I can tell you video games are going to be somewhere below $4 to like $4.50. Now that might change and be different this season. I don't know. I haven't shipped a video game in a while. But there you go.
Okay. Last quick question. I know you have this later, then I want to keep going because we got a lot of content, but do you charge extra for shipping? Do you charge the customers for shipping?
Yeah. So free shipping on the front end, but then I do offer expedited shipping options that are at a premium and people do buy them.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
You bet. NHL 24, another example of a game. In this particular one, you could purchase it from Amazon for $32.99. I think other retailers were at $30. So for whatever reason, Amazon did not go below, and maybe because they knew that this was going to sell for 55 to 60 bucks after they went out of stock. I don't really know for sure. Again, you're competing with Amazon, but Amazon's going in and out of stock. I don't know if they do this intentionally or not, but it's a fun little window. You can see it right there. It's like that first week of December is absolute gangbusters. It's a good time, and you're making money pushing these video games out. And again, games you can buy directly from Amazon. When is the window to buy them? The window to buy them is in the early Black Friday sale, especially probably the weekend before Black Friday, leading all the way up to the day, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So a lot of the titles that I sold, I was buying in the early Black Friday sales and then also buying on Black Friday and Saturday. Yeah. FBA video games, a couple of notes. Okay. I'm generally looking for video games that are FBM video games with Black Friday sale. I'm generally looking for games that are less than 1,000 BSR. There are games that are in the 5 to even to like, I think it's like 8 or even 10,000 BSR that I would like, I'm going to buy a couple of those. And they ended up working out. They just sold super slow. But again, peak season demand, it kind of takes care of some of that stuff. So generally below 1,000 BSR, the buy cost is $15 to $40. The majority of the games that I bought that were winners, they were this year's games. They were like, the 2023 games, or 24 actually, Taylor, right? They were like the 2024 games because those games always release like 6 months earlier, right? So yeah. they were a lot of 24 games, brand new games, some older titles. And so I was paying that generally $30 to $35 range. That was the majority of it. I'm generally looking for a net profit of at least $4, but preferably $5 to $15. Up to 15 is an anomaly. Most of the games you're going to be making somewhere between 5 and 8. Now, I'm going to say something real quick while I talk about this. Video games may not perform the way they did this year, the way they did last year. Right. There's other factors. How early did the titles release? Like right now, are they releasing in September or did they release in March? Right. I'm not an expert on video game release dates and stuff, but there are factors. All I can tell you is that when I looked at the video games last year, I knew that they were going to work, and it started with testing. So testing, results, investigation. This is going to work. Take massive action, crush it for a week, right? That's kind of how it works. So less than $4.50 to ship. Generally, Walmart puts color coding stickers on their video games. They've done this for a couple of years. You might be tempted or feel like you need to remove them. I'm going to tell you that I didn't. I just put them in an envelope. I never had a single customer complain that there was a green or orange or yellow sticker on their video game right there on top of the title. Let them figure it out. And if I was to be asked, I would just say, well, I was using that as a color coding system for my own inventory. Sorry, bubble mailers is how we're shipping them out. All right. So take a deep breath. I'm having fun.
Let me take two quick questions before you shift gears. These are great questions. First one was, how long did it take to get these from Amazon when you were buying stuff from Amazon? So you're buying stuff, you're listing it the same day. How long till you were receiving it till you could ship it out?
So a lot of the Amazon ones came in like 4 or 5 days. Again, you're taking advantage of early Black Friday sales. So, a lot of it like delivered right around Black Friday, Cyber Monday over that weekend. The following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they would deliver. I think if I remember correctly, and I'm kind of having to reach back for this one, is there was a few Amazon orders and even like Walmart. There's a few video game orders that like came in kind of late, right? Like a week after like Cyber Monday and stuff like that, but they all seem to kind of work out. I never returned a video game, and I think I might have sold a few video games for like $1 profit or $2 profit, which no one wants to do. But if it's about getting rid of the inventory and moving on with your life, like it's all good.
Cool. Other quick question: how are you shipping this? UPS, FedEx, or what were you using?
Great question. All USPS for the video games. It's the cheapest option.
Cool. And were you last question. Were you gated in video games? Did you have to get ungated? You just have a
I've never experienced that. There are some manufacturers that we can't sell. There is usually, there's some trickery and ways around manufacturers that you aren't approved to sell. But most of the games I can actually sell, and I don't have to do any trickery.
Yeah, I was just going to say on that, normally you're going to see like Sony branded games specifically where you're going to get some gates. So we do get some restrictions there. This isn't maybe the best way of doing it, but there are also listings for those same video games that you're restricted on with the Sony brand that might be branded underneath the actual creator or developer of the game. And we've seen us be unrestricted for those listings. Not the best advice, but that is out there depending on your risk level.
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, we're giving you advice. We're giving you ideas. You're responsible for your own business, make or break. Okay. 3 peak season winners. Here we go. Christmas deco lighting. Okay. 227 sales. This is between the 20th of November and the 20th of December. Just kind of keeping things within the confines of that 32-day window. I did sell more than the 227 units because I placed regular reorders. This was probably the funnest one for me. The one that I was like, hooray, I really found, a little gold coin, in the merchant fulfilling today or this season. And here it is. So I probably reordered this like four times in season, right? At least three, but probably 4 times in season between like, some maybe sometime before Black Friday or right after through like all the way up until like the wire, right? And I had some left over. I was like, and I went out of stock. Like I think there was twice where I went out of stock, and I was like, no, because I'm selling a good handful of these every day. It's like, if you're selling 10 a day, that's $60. It's like you don't want to go out of stock. So anyway, total profit $1,400 on this guy. A couple things I want to point out. You notice this is an item that I was selling for $35 to $37, but this is just one example. There were several with this particular item. You can see there where I sold a unit for $72 and made a $26 profit instead of an $8 profit. That is premium shipping services and people just getting to the wire and going, I really need this for the holidays. My family's coming over and I want my stuff working the way it's supposed to work. And so we'll talk about that a little more here late in a bit. The other thing I want to show you is in the Keep a Graph screenshot, and this is all regarding this particular product. Look how the buy box is not dependent on the low FBM pricing. Okay. You don't have to have the lowest price during peak season to get sales, right? And most of the stuff, and especially this item, I was consistently selling for over like a couple dollars. And I would look at these sellers and I'm like, can they not see that I'm getting sales? Can they not see me in the buy box? What is it? Maybe it's because just in my region, I was getting the buy box, but all I can tell you is I was generally selling this item for $2 to $3 more than the lowest offer. So, and that's a big difference. Okay. $1,400. Media. I talked about media mail. This was eye-opening for me. It led me to buying another title of a book. I bought a good handful of that. This particular item, I purchased over 100 units. I purchased 100 units of, and man, I debated and debated. I was so close to buying like 200, and I wish I had because this thing basically was like a closeout, and it's a new version of it was created. So I was kicking myself for not buying more, but still celebrated the win. This was a large item, guys, like this big, and it was well over 2 pounds. And I was able to ship it out consistently for like $6, which just is, it's media mail is different. Now you're going to pay with media mail and video games, Taylor, and all that stuff. You're going to pay this variable closing fee. It's like $1.80. Make sure your profit calculator is factoring that $1.80 in, because last year I was using I'm not even going to name them because I took that out of my deck, and but they didn't have the $1.80 factored in. So when I realized that was missing from the calculator, I went to AZ Insight, Ace and Zen. Hoorah to them, by the way. Great tool. We love it. Our whole team uses it. So shout out to Ace and Zen. And it does calculate properly. So $6 shipping for this, 57 sales as in this screenshot within that 32-day window, $16 of average profit. And the reason why it was $16 and not what it really was, which is more about $9 profit per unit, is because if you look, there's multi-unit orders, but if you look at this one, somebody came in and purchased what I have highlighted here, 23 units of this product. So that was a cool day. I'm like, holy smokes, I just made $300 with one sale. Like, thank you, Jesus. Right. And so, yeah, it was a really cool opportunity. So again, this kind of reflects this screenshot showing you about 83 units sold. It was like well over 100 and all of them were profitable. So I actually made more money on this than the 900. And again, look at that buy box. You can see where we lost the buy box when stocks kind of came out and the prices were hitting in the 50 range. But once again, look at the buy box above and beyond merchant fulfilling. And I can tell you there was really nobody doing FBA during that time. I think let's see. There we go. Okay, so how to find peak season winners. I want to set your expectations here. Gabe, you want to jump out, bud?
I mean, there's just a bunch of questions. Let me take 30 seconds here. If you could rapid fire. Real quick, where did you source that lighting from? Do you remember?
Okay, so I actually give you guys some tips later on. So I'm not going to say specifically, right? Okay, but I'm going to give you some tips on where you find some, like, again, scrolling through the stuff that worked for me, and I'm kind of like, here it is, right? This stuff kind of worked for me. So, but it wasn't Walmart. It wasn't a huge box chain. It was more of a seasonal chain.
Okay, so we'll save that. What about the packaging? That 2 pound media. How do you package something?
Yeah, dude. So it was in a cardboard box, a pretty rigid cardboard box, and so I debated: do I ship this in a box? Ship this box? No, you know what? I'm going in a poly mailer, and I just freaking poly mailed it and trusted that I was like, it's in UPS. It's in, I think it was USPS's hands because media mail. I never had a single customer complain that it came in damaged, right? So it's kind of like, I knew it was stronger than shipping a box of shoes, and most people don't like, well, a box of shoes will get pretty wore out from shipping into a poly mailer, but this was a lot more rigid. So I just shipped them in a poly mailer. Yeah, no boxes at all. I do have a local, by the way, I have a local chain, a local place here in town that buys directly from Uline. So like if I get in a pinch, I can go there and get boxes that are like perfect for what I need.
Cool.
Okay, so I want to set your expectations on how to find peak season winners. The point of this slide, guys, is it literally takes a handful of winners, right? You don't have to like have this huge spread. Like I said, most of this for me, guys, was kind of an afterthought. Like I kind of geared up and trained up, listening to some podcasts and getting sort of motivated. And more of was like, well, and to the extent of like, hey Taylor, have the team ship me some FBM stuff. Like that's how motivated I was before Black Friday. and then everything changed, right? So I want to tell you guys, this is a good opportunity to tell you, like, you may be the person that's like, I don't have the energy for this. I don't have the time for this. I don't want to do this. This is going to be too much work. You will find the energy. You will find the motivation, because if you just prepare a little bit, throw some tests into your account. And when stuff starts to hit, like if you do well with just a little bit of preparation, I think you're going to get excited and you're just going to run on that energy, right? That energy will fuel you to go and do the extra stuff, like go into the stores and just grabbing all the stuff and clearing shelves, right? So you need a handful of products to really to make 10 grand. It takes a handful of products, right? And maybe video games if you can do video games, but if you can't, do something else. Okay, boatload of leads. So my strategy, I've talked about this earlier, Gabe, is like I have a ton of leads, right? We own OA Cheddar, so we have all of the OA Cheddar lead list coming in, and of course we always have Cheddar Black coming in. I think that one of the best things you can do as a seller is to have a ton of lead flow, especially if you do all your own lead gen like throughout the year. That good for you. Like I think like more power to you. Honestly, I'm jealous, it's legit, right? That you have that skill set. During this peak season, though, if there's ever a time to have a surplus of lead flow, it's during peak season. And the reason why I think that just being a subscriber of OA Cheddar and Cheddar Black during this time of year is we're going to show you exactly what's working right now. Imagine you're a one-person shop, maybe 2 or 3 people, and maybe your lead gens, whatever. You have a small team, but imagine having 35 to 40 other lead gens constantly deal flowing for you, showing you what sales are happening right now, what coupons are working right now, what brands are working right now in the peak season. Because a lot of you guys are probably wondering, well, how do I identify winners? Well, it may not come directly from the list, but it might be from a clue that you got from the list. And then you can use your superpower of rabbit trailing and doing your own sourcing and running TA scans and using software, whatever it is that you do that is your special skill set for lead gen. Let us be the starting point. Let us spoon feed you a ton of leads, and then you can go and do what you do best on the back end and find winners. So we're going to tell you what suppliers are working, right? Like finding peak season winners on one supplier may work, and on another, it's just a total waste of time. Let us show you what suppliers are most likely to provide you with peak season winners, categories and product types, and rabbit trail these clues. So that's my first strategy. The second is turning old data into Q4 gold. And this is essentially what I did to find, I sourced all of the Black Friday stuff from the system because our whole business and so all of our sourcing and all of our ordering and all of our order reconciling happens inside of CheddarSoft. And so whether you're using a spreadsheet or not doesn't matter, but I'm going through, it does help. It does matter. It's helpful to have it inside of CheddarSoft and running and inside of Smart Data so that you can run filters. Last year, guys, we didn't have, so I'm more excited about this year than ever before, because last year our show latest stats feature was kind of weak, and it wasn't super it wasn't super quick. The turnaround was pretty slow. We've made changes, so that frustrated me during last year because I saw the opportunity to use this tool with all my historical data to pull out all these winners and surface all this cream to the top. And I went to Taylor. I was like, we got to fix this. And so we did. Right. And now like I'm going through my historical data. I'm like, that stuff was updated with the low FBA price like yesterday. Like that's what I need. I need on time data. And Taylor, we talked about it. We're cranking it up so it's going to be even faster because it's literally just like pull a few levers and it's going to update even that much faster. So what's up, Gabe?
So you're using Smart Data. I love this. This is one of my favorite questions. So I'm just going to ask it right up front, Grant, because we get this question all the time. People ask about saturation on a normal lead list, which we've gone more exclusive. We've gone from 55 sellers down to 25 and 20. But what about Cheddar Black? You're sourcing this stuff off Cheddar Black. We have 150 members in this group. Do you worry about saturation when you're using lead lists? Because you buy your whole store off this. Please address this.
Not necessarily. And I think with this particular strategy, right, you're buying and testing, right? So you're not going to buy boatloads of any one SKU until you've seen it sell profitably. And so, guys, there's 100+ people that had access to all this data last year, and I still made money. It didn't matter. I think the difference is in the strategy. Like you'll see in those Keepagraphs with those video games, for example, all these crazy people shipping it into FBA. And they're all going to lose money. Every single one of them is going to lose money. You got to like, it's the merchant fulfill is the key to taking advantage of Black Friday sales, because if you wait to ship it in, it's not going to be available for sale until like early January. And then by then, like, it's not going to matter anymore. There's too much competition.
Yeah, so I'll say this 2 cents, Kelly, because we get this question a lot. It's a common concern, so I appreciate it's valid. I'll say 2 things about this. One, the volume in Q4 is through the roof. Okay, so you've got the demand for these products is way higher than a typical season. Okay, and people are buying irrationally in Q4. You're spending way too much money on toys for your kids because you got to get it, stuff like that. And number 2, I can assure you, we published, we're going to share this in a second, we published over 3,000 leads as part of Cheddar Black last year. The cost per lead, if you break it down, was like 40 cents per lead. We have never heard of somebody that did not exhaust their budget. So pretty much everybody exhausts their budget at some point. Like no one has an infinite budget. So the demand is higher, and we're not dealing. I mean, we're all mom and pop businesses. No one here has like very few people have a multi 7-figure sourcing budget where they can just buy everything. So people are going to run out of stuff, and they're going to go deep on stuff, and then they're going to fall off. So it's, you got to have an abundance mindset as part of this. And we say this over and over again, but it's important. Like just prosper where you're planted. Like pick the stuff. You might not be able to sell video games like Grant, or some stuff's competitive. Pick the stuff that you can and just go deep there. So I appreciate the question, but I think a lot of people are thinking that, Grant.
We don't treat Cheddar Black any different than Cheddar 20, right? Like Cheddar 20s, we don't go, oh, that's a Cheddar Black lead and 150 sellers saw that. We treat it the exact same. And I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to get into this in the pitch, but the meat and potatoes of Cheddar Black outside of Black Friday is your Christmas chunks, and we allocate the lowest BSR stuff to that list. And I think Gabe makes a great point. Like people exhaust their budget, I mean, early in November, right? For one, and I mean, I've done that many years. There's been times where like we spend so heavy like that we basically kind of run out of like we can't buy this week, and it's like the second week of November. I got to take a week off. This sucks. So it does happen. And again, buy test if you're an FBM seller. I mean, you can do this strategy, by the way. It doesn't have to be done during the peak season. That's just when there's like the least room for error, right? You could do this in October and November and start testing these ASINs out. And I can promise you that if let's say you test 10 and one of them works out really well, you could replenish that throughout the season, assuming it's available. And most sellers are ignoring it, right? It's the part of the equation with Cheddar Black is there's such an avalanche of data that it spreads out, right? It's a lot. So
cool. Great question.
All right. I'm going to jump into my smart data system. I'm going to be running searches for products that are less than 50K. I might be doing this in October, November, even in the middle of peak season. I might be adjusting and looking for stuff that's 20K or 30K BSR or below. But point is like fast sellers with the updated search filters and the updated latest stats. So that'll show me like, even if it was delivered at a 90K BSR when it was delivered originally in October, today it's at a 20,000 BSR. I need to see that, right? And then I'm going to be searching for stuff that's at $4 net profit, probably bare minimum. And then I want to see stuff that was delivered in the last 30 to 60 days for the most part, because that's the most actionable. Like if it was delivered 2 weeks ago, there's a good chance maybe it's still on sale, or I can leverage a new coupon because, merchants are pumping coupons out during that season. And I'm also going to be doing that same search looking at last year's data, either for clues, so same date range, but and looking at it the previous year for either clues or possible things that I've actually realized. Like if my Cheddar Black team sends me a lead, I'm like, oh, there's a sale at Box Lunch. I might go look at Box Lunch leads delivered during a 30 to 60 day window last year, right? I want to see like, did they go, because a lot of the stuff is seasonal. So, Box Lunch isn't going to carry Christmas tree ornaments generally all year long, right? They're going to roll those out in season. Keyword search, candy, chocolate, Disney, Funko. You guys can see it there. Take a screenshot of this if you want. Decorations, perfume, cologne. Again, this all just came from me scrolling down through the stuff that worked. Hallmark, Walmart, Urban Outfitters, Fossil, Box Lunch, Target, and a whole bunch more for suppliers that I might narrow down on, especially when they're having their sales. Here's an example, guys. I was like, I wonder if I could find something completely out of season, right? If I could find a peak season winner, by just going through and looking at old historical data. Now, I don't know if you could actually order this from Big Lots, because I've heard, my understanding is Big Lots isn't the greatest for sourcing online and placing orders, like they'll get canceled or whatever. But this is an item that you could purchase for $4.99 supposedly right now from Big Lots and sell on Amazon. You can see the fact that it's seasonal, right? It's not selling all year long, and then it is, and this is something you could flip for about $19 profit on average, according to the history, and make a nice 85% ROI. Okay, so early Black Friday sales with Cheddar Black last year. The first Black Friday deals that we posted was on the 2nd of November for sales that started on the 3rd and the 18th. Based on our research. And so again, they start early. The week before Black Friday, as I mentioned earlier, is when the weekend specifically is when the early Black Friday sales really take off. And then when you're leveraging FBM with this strategy, you're testing a lot of different items, right? Or at least a good handful of different items. You're listing them FBM as soon as they deliver to your home, and then you're going to scale up the winners, right? So test 10, scale 2, right? Test 50, scale 10. In-store pickup. So this is, I mentioned this earlier, but what you're going to do is, what I did is I did all the early Black Friday sales purchasing online. And then Black Friday and Saturday, the following Saturday, I was placing in-store pickup orders. So that Friday, again, I was still kind of like talking myself into this. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna drive all the way to Walmart. I don't want to do this, but whatever. Let me see how many games I've kind of maxed out what I can order online, and I want to pick them up and have them in hand right now. Let me do some in-store pickups. And so I placed all of the orders, and they came out with a bunch of bins and a grip of games, right? That was like Black Friday during the day. If I was smart, I would have went in the store that right then, but I didn't. I didn't go into my local store, and that was like the best store. They had the most games. By Saturday, I was like, so I came home on Friday, I listed them, and they're selling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Saturday morning. I'm like, these games are popping. I got to go get more. So then I get on my computer again, and I'm like, okay, pickup order for this location. And by the way, the next closest Walmart to me is like an hour away, right? And then the next, so I placed orders for 4 more Walmarts and spent an entire Saturday afternoon running around with Xander in the back, right? Going through all the Walmarts. Now, when I would get to the store, because I noticed that like some of the pickup orders would be like, oh, they canceled that one. I'm like, I don't know, man. Something tells me there's games in there. And of course, there's also limits, like, hey, 5 per title of per pickup. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go in the store. So every one of those 4 stores, I went into the store, walked in there, and found a bunch more games. So I maximized each store by not only doing the pickups, and that was like kind of like there was 5 Walmarts that I did this with, but I did the pickups, and that was like that's what made it worth me to actually go there and pick it up because it's so far away. But then I maximized the value by going into the store and clearing the shelves. What's your strategy for buying more than the limits of any given supplier website? So I kind of just described that, right?
You kind of just answered it. You do the online order, and then you're going back in the store for anything else. Kind of doing
and
it
also
twice.
Like the online orders, placing multiple orders. You can. Okay, I'm not an expert in this area, but you can, for example, with Amazon. My understanding is you can have 3 Amazon accounts. Like I think it's like maybe even with terms of service, like you actually have 3 accounts. And place orders on all of those. But with Walmart, I was just maxing out the OA orders. Taylor, I think we would go back, we would order again, and then sometimes those would get canceled, or they just wouldn't let us add more. And then, but then again, I would just do this pickups, and then I would go in the store and buy the physical game. So I think you're going to get a higher volume of games just going in the store. Like,
I want to point something out too about going into the store for those who maybe haven't been to a Black Friday sale in a store in a long time. It's chaotic. Okay, a lot of times these Walmarts will have these video games out on a display in the aisle. Things get crazy. So a video game can get moved behind another video game, and I also know people, and this is one of my friends that I know used to go out to Black Friday, not for selling on Amazon, but just for Christmas, and they would actually grab all their stuff before the sale started and hide it in a different area in the store, so that way other people didn't come and grab it. Okay. And so, and I just say that just to point out like what's available online, what's available for in-store pickup. Like without walking into the store, you're not going to know for sure.
Yeah.
And their inventory systems aren't always 100% accurate. So making sure and walking in is extremely important.
For sure. Be sure to have your Walmart.com tax exempt set up, right? That's pretty easy to do. You can Google it. Get your Walmart in-store tax exempt card. Also, because if you're going to go in store and grab games, you're going to want to have this ready. You just go in there with your resale permit to customer service, and they'll give you one of these cards, and then you can just present that before you start scanning your transaction in at Walmart. Oh, on this topic of sales tax, in my state, and I'm pretty sure in most states, I've heard it for other states as well. If you pay sales tax, keep a record of that. You should be able to have your CPA file a reimbursement claim with the state, and they should pay back that sales tax. Because if you have a resale permit with your state, it's not their money. So that's something I've been practicing for years. Peak season, Amazon to Amazon flips. So Amazon will price match, right? These low prices for Black Friday. Don't be afraid to stock up. I'm not saying that Amazon will go out of stock, but most of the time they do. On video games, at least, I spent about $1,700 on video games just from Amazon, and I should have bought more. Set up your Amazon business account tax exempt status. People, I've heard conversations where like, oh, well, I need my business account to place taxable orders. You can deselect the tax exempt status on the individual products when you're placing an order on Amazon so that you will pay tax. So you can do your office orders and your business inventory orders on the same account with a tax exempt status set up. This is a sprint, you guys. Peak season FBM is a sprint. It's newbie friendly. It's one of the things I love about this. It's there is you can trial and error without loss. And what I mean by that is if you buy things and you make a mistake and you realize that you're not going to be able to sell it profitably, you can return it to the store. You can take advantage of those refund policies. I personally, this is not a strategy I mean, in the years we have returned stuff, but generally speaking, if we make a mistake, we don't make returns. But if I was in my first year of business and I couldn't afford to take a loss, I would probably go ahead and return the items as long as they're in the same condition that I purchased them in. So it's okay to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make a mistake and test things out. And for this reason I just described, availability matters. So how available products are in general. So even just outside of Black Friday or just leads that you receive from us or things that you find through your own research. If you're curious about, I do this a lot with like keep us flips, right? Is when I find something on Amazon and Amazon saying, okay, it's a $60 item, you can buy it for 25 right now because it's a keep a drop. Then I will often go and kind of look, well, I'll search out the market. What does this product generally sell for? What are other merchants selling this product for? Is it really a $60 item? Or is it really like a $50 item? And can I expect Amazon to rebound their price at 50 and not 60, right? Or are there other suppliers having the same sale? So that's something you can do is take the titles, take the products that you're looking at and just do some Google research. Look at how available is it across the internet marketplace, right? How many other suppliers are offering the same product? Is it a cheaper price elsewhere? And or can I buy it not only, if I'm limited by how much I can buy from one supplier, can I buy more from another? Okay, so leverage Google, leverage research. A way to find limited supply or to limit competition would be things like store exclusives. Think of like Target exclusives, vinyls. The red ones is an example, right? There's other examples as well with like Funkos and stuff like that. And then brand websites with limited distribution. So what brands can you buy from that aren't being sold on Walmart and Target and elsewhere? Margin is manufactured. So don't forget your cash back and gift cards, discounted gift cards, guys. Plan on having those if you're going to use them and you're planning kind of your strategy out. Have your discounted gift cards purchased earlier, because if you wait until like November, there won't be any gift cards, or if there are, they're going to have very low discounts on them. So 4 ways to beat your competition. We're getting close to the end here. 0-day handling. This was something I learned on Twitter, right? It was like, everybody's offering 1-day handling. If you offer 0-day handling, which means that, before a certain period of the day, if the order is placed, then I agree to ship it that same day, not the following day, right? And so basically this will put a little pressure on you to get orders fulfilled right away. But if all things being equal and Amazon sees that or even a consumer sees that the product will be shipped to them a day earlier or delivered to them a day earlier than your competitor, well, then this is a competitive advantage. Free standard shipping, right? Always do free standard shipping. At least that's what I do. 2-day shipping, guys. Here's my template. For those of you that might be a merchant fulfill expert, maybe I don't have this set up properly. All I can tell you is that I was getting sales for 2-day shipping last year and people were paying me $25, $30. I think I tinkered with it at one point. I was like, I wonder if someone will pay $35.99 or $34.99. And I got a sale, but it kind of like slowed down a little bit. So I was just tinkering with it. Again, same premise. I come in here and throughout the season, I was just kind of playing with this. Like, what happens if I do, expedited shipping? How does that work? For 1 to 3 days and then 2 days and then 1 day. Okay, let's try $29.99 and $1 per pound. So you can see I just kind of like, this is where I left off with the season. Experiment, right? If the worst that happens is you sell something for 2 days shipping and you go, oh crud, I just lost $5. Who cares? Just ship it out and fix it, right? Maximize your margins. You do not have to have the lowest price to win the buy box or to get the next sale. I personally manual reprice my products for FBM during peak season. Outside of this 32-day window we're talking about roughly, I'm always going to use an automated repricer. I was talking with Taylor, like sounds like Aura has some pretty cool features with their AI repricer, and maybe you want to tinker with that. You're like a wizard with a repricer. Personally, I like to have my my personal touch on pricing, because what I was doing last year is I'm selling this for $1 more than the lowest offer. Will I make sales for $2 more than the lowest offer? Well, I'm still making sales. What about $3 more than the lowest offer? And then sales would slow down. And I'm like, okay, let's go back down to where I was. So I was literally figuring out what is the absolute highest I could charge for a product before I kind of let go. FBM can and will win over FBA, because in a lot of cases you can get the product to the customer sooner, especially if it's regional and if you're offering 2-day shipping and stuff like that. You're going to stand out regionally, right? So here's the way this would work: is if I'm in Oregon, right, and another seller is in New Jersey, and the customer is in Idaho, all things being equal, if I'm that much closer to the customer in Idaho, there's a good chance that I'm going to be getting the sale, because I can probably get it to that customer in Idaho a couple days earlier than the guy in New Jersey. Okay, 0-day handling, free shipping, standard shipping, and 2-day expedited shipping. Tip: I already talked about pirate ship. If for whatever reason, and it happens at random, I heard this said, and I was like, that's odd. Why would Amazon ever have outrageous shipping? Like, that makes no sense. It happened. I'd be like, what? $15 is the best shipping option I have for this order? I went over to pirate ship and paid less. Last section. So we're about to wrap up, and then we're going to talk about Cheddar Black. Supplies. Guys, this is the stuff, right? Like, I buy from Uline. I know that you can get it for cheaper. Probably, I don't know for sure. From the little bit of research that I did when I was trying to find better deals, I was like, you know what? Uline is cheaper, and then they charge this crazy high shipping, but it all kind of like is relatively equal at the end of the day. So I just buy from Uline because it comes to me the very next day. So if I screw up and I run out of something, like, it's there. So these little codes right here, the S dash, whatever, you guys could take a picture of this. This is the stuff like generally that I'm using. The most common boxes, and I still do FBM, by the way, like there's always a couple FBM orders pretty much every day in my business now. It's just obviously not like peak season. So the boxes I use, or the FBM friendly box sizes that kind of work with most FBM friendly products, in my opinion, 6x5x4 corrugated and an 8x6x4. Those are like the most common box sizes I use. The video games, the 6x10 bubble mailers, and then of course some other things. You guys can take a picture and look at those later. I buy my tape and my shipping labels there as well, and sticker removal, undo, Scotty peelers. Personally, I love Undo. I think it's a great product, and these Scotty peelers, that's how I remove stickers if I have to. So thank you for your time, guys. I hope you got value from this. Happy to answer questions and move into the second part of this webinar.
Sweet. Thanks, Grant. Appreciate it, man. If you guys appreciate this from Grant, show Grant some love in chat. I just saw in chat, Grant, that Jackie and Kelly, we had some people finding out they're in the same area, so they're connecting, which is great. That's part of why we do this stuff, so it's awesome. So appreciate that, man. So let's go ahead and so this is one question, Grant. I'm just going to ask this, and then we'll transition, and we'll hang out, guys, for about a couple minutes here, and we're going to talk about Cheddar Black. I know a lot of you are on because you just want to know what's new for this year, so we're going to do that next. My question for you, Grant, is what are you doing new for this year? And specifically talking merchant fulfilling, is there anything you're doing different now that you kind of whet your appetite last year?
I mean, the first thing is I'm going to take it more seriously earlier on in the season. I'm not going to, now that I've been through last year, what happened and experienced that, it was fun. And I'm going to be more prepared, probably find, and really the goal is to double down, right? So we did 50K and made about, shy of 10K. I'd like to do 100K and try to make 20K, right? That's kind of the goal. One of the ways that we're going to do that, other than like more preparation and just more research and having Cheddarsoft's smart data prices updating more accurately and more punchy. We're also, I'm going to have Taylor's he's going to help me out. So we're going to get him I got an extra label printer, and we're going to give him a couple boxes of video game envelopes. And what else do you need, Taylor? I think that's about it, really.
I mean, it's basically label printer, poly mailers, credit card.
Yeah.
You know,
So you're going to double time, split.
We're going to double down.
Be in two places at once.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm over on the other side of our state, near more populated areas, more shopping areas. And so, we were talking about them, like, all we really need is just a label printer and poly mailers and a way to ship this stuff out. And so I'm going to be going out to these stores and going after the same titles, and we're going to be double dipping, which I think is a great strategy that other people can be doing too. If you have friends and family members who are wanting to help out, or, maybe make a little extra cash themselves, you can utilize their area. And all you really need is just a shipping label printer and, access into Seller Central.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool. So fancy transition. I'll slide over here, Grant. Jackie, you had a great question, and we're going to answer this right now. So Jackie asked, since your Q4 profits, and I think she meant 9,200, since your Q4 profits were 9,200 doing merchant fulfilled, if we're gated in video games, would Cheddar Black still be beneficial? So we're going to talk about that right now, because this is one strategy that Grant did. What we're not talking about, we're going to talk tomorrow about Grant's full Q4, like on FBA, because this is like a little piece. I mean, when you sell 260 grand in a 38-day period, like, this is a small piece of what he's doing. But first, I want to know what's y'all's biggest breakthrough. So put in chat, this is the interactive part. What's one thing you guys have pulled away so far? And I'm asking this question really for you guys. What's one thing you've pulled away so far that you can take and implement? If it's confidence that I can do this, if it's like, hey, here, Grant showed you a couple of his sources, just put one thing in chat that you guys has been your biggest breakthrough. And let's see here. If people post in here, some other questions that are coming in. The date schedule from Jackie. So awesome. So source early, source often, be ready. How to plan ahead from Joy. So being prepared. Awesome. Very cool. Keep posting in chat, guys. Buying deeper. So this is a good one, Grant. I think you've learned this. Like, we used to be shallow and wide. We used to preach that, shallow and wide, like 3 to 5. And now as your confidence grows and you learn, you're going deeper and stuff, way deeper than you used to, and you take bigger risks. So
Right.
Very cool. So what's one thing that you guys need to have success in Q4 as an FBA seller? This is a little bit of a rhetorical question, but there's if you look at your business, it all funnels into one point. What's the one key? Any guesses you guys have on one key to being successful in Q4? Okay, I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's the leads. You need an abundance of data. You need an abundance of leads, not to buy all the leads. Okay, but like Grant's saying, a lot of you guys are much better experts than we are at rabbit trailing. Use the leads for what they are, as leads to other products. So if we send you guys a certain shoe or a certain whatever, go to that site. If we send you, one of the benefits to being on our Cheddar Blacklist is the sources. And we're going to talk about, we delivered over 500 different sources last year on the list. What would you guys do if I could hand you a piece of paper with 500 different sources and say, go to town on these sites? And oh, by the way, here's the sources, and here's 3,000 leads that match these. Go find your own stuff. Would it help your business? Would you guys be blessed by that? Okay. You also need time, and this is a big one for Q4. We see this every year. The sellers that wait till the last minute and then try and do lead gen in the fly, it gets crazy. It gets hectic. A much better strategy is let our team, we've got 35 plus professional sourcing agents. Let us do the hard work and deliver this to you on a silver platter, so you have the leads coming to you each day versus being the seller that's out there chasing the leads. So don't chase leads. Let leads chase you. That's one of the keys to success in Q4. So let's talk about Cheddar Black. How many of you guys are ready? Who wants more leads for your business? Type yes in the chat if you guys want some more leads for your business, and if you're ready to hear what's new with Cheddar Black. And I'm going to pause for 10 seconds, Grant, because I want you guys to be ready. If you were here just for the FBM part, you can jump off. If you want to be one of the first handful of members to get in Cheddar Black, you're in the right place. Yes, please, from Ed. April says yes. Agnes, yes. Awesome. Cool. Lets me know y'all are in the right place here. So we're stoked, guys. This is Cheddar Black 2024. This is our 7th year running this program. So we're not rookies at doing this. Our team gets better and better every year. We get better at delivering every year, and we do our best. Just started monsooning here in Colorado, Grant. We do our best to serve this all up for y'all as easy as possible. So there's a bunch that goes into this. So you're going to want to pay attention to this part. This will take about 15 minutes. The core of the program is 4 beefy Q4 leads in one place. And we like to think of Cheddar Black as everything you need to be successful and nothing else. Okay. So like, hear us when we say this, and you can ask Grant this. Like, we're not here to bombard you with, a ton of webinars. We're not here to have you guys sit with us for 15 hours on trainings. We want to give you the leads. We want you guys to get results. We want you to make money, and we want you to be with your family. That's why y'all are here. You're not here to sit in front of your computer sourcing all day. You're here to build a business. And that's how we've packaged this program. So before we talk about what you're going to get, I get real excited about this part, Grant. I want to talk about results. And so we'll just transparently share what happened last year. Okay, we have a bunch of you guys, Ed Dassey, there's a bunch of you guys that are in here that have been in Cheddar Black, not just for 1 year, but 2, 3, 4. I think, Ed, this is your 4th year with us, I believe. So this was last year. These are the 4 lead lists that we packaged in with last year's group that you're going to get this year. One is Christmas chunks. We call it Christmas chunks, and I'm going to talk more about these individually. This is our bread and butter for Q4. These are Q4 specific leads, low BSR, fast selling. We delivered about 2,200 of those last year. All in all, with the total package last year between Black Friday, Cyber Monday, week lists, the Christmas chunks list, and something that we do different than nobody else does in the industry is we deliver you a surplus list after Q4 is over. So really, this is a year-long lead list. 3,737 leads. Okay, so you guys can do the math in a second here. It's the cheapest cost per lead you're going to find anywhere for the highest quality leads. And we really pride ourselves on the quality of data we send you. We're subscribed to a lot of other lists in the industry, and every time we subscribe to someone else's list just to kind of check in, we're consistently disappointed by their vetting standards. And we found a lot of people will stuff a bunch of leads onto a list to make it look fat. We absolutely do not do that. In fact, the leads that don't make it to our list is probably about 8 times as much as what you guys see. We have a lot more data we could deliver you, but we choose not to. So 3,700 leads. This got delivered over the course of all of last year, and we're pretty proud of that. This is I don't know anybody else that can brag on this. So, and this is a kind of a fun stat. So 3,700 total leads, total of 574 sources. Okay, so imagine, what can you guys do if we give you 574 sources, different stores to source at? Is there a chance that 10% of those you've never heard of before? Probably a chance that about half of those you haven't heard of before. So average ROI, these are all stats. We pulled the stats directly out of CheddarSoft just yesterday, so it's as fresh as it can be. Average ROI for last year's package was 58%. Average net profit was $10.37. And we ran a cool stat that if you bought one of each item, so this is if you just bought one of each item on Cheddar Black, sent it in and sold it, obviously all things the same, it's an estimated net potential profit of a little over 38 grand. Okay, now that's clearly, obviously we all live in different places. There's competitions. It's hard to say all that stuff. So, no, Grant, stay on, man. You guys can hang on. Well, this is a team effort here. So. Cool. So who's ready to see everything we got with Cheddar Black? You guys ready for this? You guys have already said yes. I'm assuming the yeses are there. Okay, so let's talk about Cheddar Black this year. Okay, I'm going to just go through everything you guys get, and then in about 8 minutes here, we'll have the cart open, and you guys can go register and claim your spot. So first thing we deliver to you guys is our Black Friday list. It's important to know that this is a retail arbitrage and online arbitrage opportunity. So more and more over the years, Grant, you positioned away from RA. You're kind of going back to it. So I know a lot of you guys kind of fluctuate. So this list, we harvest this data straight from the ads. We basically have a dedicated team, and all they do is they're scraping Black Friday ads, matching up to see what are the good opportunities. And that'll happen about a week before Black Friday. It's a little different each year. The important thing to know is that as these get released, like as we get them, you get them. So it comes into us, it gets vetted, and it gets spit back out. So you get the Black Friday list. That's goes without saying. You get the Cyber Monday week list. So this also happens. So this year's Cyber Monday is going to be on December 2nd. assuming all things stay the same. We kind of find out about this as you guys do. And then pretty much that whole week, as we get leads and they start coming in, the team populates it. And we're doing different this year. I'm going to see if any of you guys like this. I'm just going to throw this out improv, Grant. Something we decided to do different this year is, in the past, we've delivered all the leads inside of CheddarSoft. And this year, we think, and this is our hunch, that some of you might appreciate a good old-fashioned Google Sheet. So how many of you guys would be pumped if you got the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday list in a Google Sheet as well as CheddarSoft? Just type in Google Sheets in chat if you guys are old school and you still like those. I'm kind of curious. They'll be delivered in both places. Go ahead.
It's a little thing, but yeah, I think for me, it's like I'm looking forward to be able to kind of zoom out a little bit more and see a big picture of Black Friday, what's happening with Black Friday on the Google Sheet. So yeah, all right, yeah, we're getting S's Google Sheets. Yeah,
some of you guys, it's hard to make everyone happy, guys. That's the truth. Like we try and make it as easy as possible, but we know there's a lot of you OGs that just love the Google Sheet. So again, real time, as we get leads and they pass our vetting team, they get populated and you get the Cyber Monday list. So we've saved you a ton of time just with 1 and 2. Okay. Mm-hmm. Piece 3, this is the meat and potatoes, guys. Our Christmas, we call it Christmas chunks. We harvest all of the best Q4, fast-selling, low BSR, highly profitable Q4 specific leads. That lands here. So this is where you're going to be in on a daily basis. This is by far, we've surveyed our customers every year after the program, and this is by far the crowd favorite. People love this list. We do not sell this list outside of Cheddar Black. The only way that you can get it is by being a part of this group. And this year, we've got some new rules we've put in place. And so our plan is to beef this list up even more than we've done in the past. I don't know how that's possible, Grant. I feel like we stretch our team every year to go find more leads. But that's our goal. We want to fill this up with fast leads. Again, don't chase the leads. Let the leads come to you. Let us do the hard work and send that to you guys. Okay. This is back. Surplus is back. We almost didn't include the surplus list this year, and then a couple of the members in the group raised their hand and said, "Hey guys, I really like your surplus list." So essentially, what surplus is, the Christmas chunks list will run from September through January of 2025. I believe it's 5 months that the Christmas chunks run. So all the way through Q4, through December, and through January is what Christmas chunks will run. So for people that are buying late Christmas, and then surplus is essentially what in the past, this has been our backup list that we've used to fuel all of our other lists. We decided to package in and say, hey, let's just give them the farm. Let's just give them everything. So you guys get this as well. This runs from February. So when Christmas chunks ends in February, all the way through August of 2025. So this is the unique piece. Grant, I don't see anybody else in the industry that provides a year-round lead list. And if you guys like surplus, for those of you guys that have been in Cheddar Black, can you just put in chat why you guys like surplus? This seems to be, I didn't realize this, Grant, until we surveyed the customers. Nobody said anything about surplus. And then as soon as there was a whiff of, hey, we might not get this included, it's like people came out of the woodwork like, hey, I love surplus. This is my favorite thing. Yeah. So this is the year-round piece of this, okay? So you get all 4 of these, all packaged up. Black Friday, Cyber Monday week, Christmas chunks, Cheddar surplus. It's like $2,700 worth of lead lists if we were to sell them privately. You guys aren't going to pay that, but there's a whole bunch more, okay? That's just the bread and butter of the program. We've got 4 amazing bonuses and actually 2 secret bonuses. So it's actually 6, Grant, okay, yes, that they get. You get Black Chat, okay? This is, some of you guys have been around. Black Chat is a Facebook group. Okay, everybody that's in Cheddar Black will live inside of Black Chat if you want to. Some people love it, some people don't. It's up to you. Basically, you get access to the entire community. I think of it as a mobile mastermind. So we have, you got a question about something, you don't want to show your face, you can pop in Black Chat, type a quick message, send it out. Everybody in the community, Grant, Taylor, myself, all the other 150 members will see that message. And then there's a ongoing conversation, and it's been running for, I don't remember how many years we started doing Black Chat, but I think 3 or 4 now.
This will be the fourth year that we're running the same chat.
Same chat. So it's been going for 4 years.
Yep.
4 years straight. It's kind of fun, man. Sometimes people banter. Sometimes people stay up too late on Fridays and drink Pepsis and post stuff. Like that kind of stuff happens. But it's real low key, and it gives you a chance to network with people without having to jump on a Zoom or do anything fancy like that. So easily $1,000. We treat this like a mastermind. You get that as a part of it. We want to have that community support. Okay. The software, what else, when we build this thing, we're like, what else do people need to be successful? What else do we have that we can give them? And Cheddarsoft has become, it's growing. It's getting better by the month. We've got a whole brand new version. I'm not going to even hint at it. It's coming out in probably 2 months. It's been completely made over, but this is our lead management tool. So some of the tools Grant was talking about, we put all your leads in one place. So imagine for a second, if you could sign into one website, all of your lead lists were automatically populated, and you had a tool called Smart Data where you could go in and say, I want to look at clothing and shoes with a BSR of 50,000 with a $10 net profit and so much ROI. And by the way, sort it in order of highest profit to least.
Right.
Okay? How much time would that save you? I don't know how many lead lists y'all are on. Okay. If you're on, most people have dozens, if not hundreds of lead lists. It's virtually impossible to sort everything. Oh, and by the way, how would it help you if you could click one button and it would update all the pricing in real time to tell you exactly what the pricing is today? And if you didn't have to continue to sort that, that's what Cheddarsoft is. So this is our bread and butter tool. It's getting better. We've got a new version coming out. We just give you 6 months of this tool for free. Personally, I think it's way undervalued for what you get, but that's on us. So that comes a part of it. You have a place to store all your leads. It's pretty cool. Something else we do is and we started doing this last year, is we do these real low key.
I'm excited about this one.
Okay, these are where you can jump on. You can jump on a camera like this. It's like doing an in-person meetup, but we do it on the internet, and we talk shop about what's working. Okay, so these are conversations that you don't hear on webinars. We talk about specific products because we can all talk openly because we're all on the same list. We can talk about specific sources. We can talk about specific challenges, and you get to network with people. So I just saw a couple of you guys have already made friends on here. This is a great way to do that. If you're looking for people in your area, if you're looking for specific help, this is essentially like a mastermind. And we're going to run 8 of these this year. And so you'll get those all throughout the season. So you can come to some of them. You can come to all of them. We'll have certain ones that'll be topic specific. If you guys want to focus on certain things, clearly in the beginning of the season, it'll be sourcing, in September, October, and the peak sourcing seasons, it'll be all about that. So you guys get that. We wanted to add the community component to this. Okay, another perk of the program, this thing is in high demand. We've had more demand for this program over the last 7 years than anything else we've done. And so one of the things we do for current members is we give you early registration for the following year. So we're going to open the cart here in a second. There's going to be a big rush of you guys jumping to get in to claim one of these spots. If you're a current member, we give you like a 48-hour early bird period to get in and reserve your spot, just to make it easy for you guys. Okay. So this is a snapshot of all the stuff that you get. It's a big giant package. Again, everything you need to be successful in Q4 and nothing else. It's like $7,100. And this is like real world value. This is, if we were to sell a lead list, this is what it would be. This is what Christmas Chunks is. But you notice there's a couple things in orange that are new for this year. And I want to talk about that. Okay. So before I do, I got to share the guarantee. We're doing something else unique this year. I'm going to make this offer in just a second. We're so confident you guys are going to love this. We want to take all the risk out of this purchase for you guys. So you've got a full 30 days to come in the program, see if you like us, see if you like Black Chat, see if you like the leads. The lead gen will start on September 2nd. So starting at the beginning of September, which is about a week from now, the leads will start getting hit to your account. You can try it out for a full month. If at the end of the month, you're like, hey, it wasn't nearly as cool as those guys in the webinar said it was, then that's on us. Send us a message, team at OA Cheddar, and we'll send your money back. I can say that with confidence because we rarely get requests. Typically, it's like, I'm in the hospital, like I can't do Q4, like that kind of stuff will come through randomly, but we rarely, I can't remember a time, Grant, when someone's like, I didn't like the leads on Christmas Chunks or whatever. So
no, I remember, I remember one seller said, hey, I got suspended. And we were like, you know what? It's all good. Here's your money. Go fix it.
Right.
So Billy May says there's 3 more bonuses though. So if that wasn't sweet enough, okay, there's 3 new things that we're doing for this year. Number 1, we're adding in a 3-month booster pack. So this is basically a special voucher, special coupon that you get when you sign up, and it'll essentially give you half off of any of our normal lead lists. This is something we don't offer anywhere else. I think our normal, we offer different promotions randomly. I think they're like 30% off your first month and different things to encourage people to join lead list. But this one you can redeem at any time. And I believe this is anytime in the next year. Is that right, Taylor? Doesn't it run through?
It expires the end of August of 2025. So you get this on this 3-month booster pack. You want to use it during Q4, perfect time. If you want to use it, come February, that's totally fine. In the middle of summer, right? This is our gift to you for the entire year.
Yeah. So basically, anytime you're like, hey, listen, I could use some more leads, you can redeem this booster pack. You'll get half off of any of our subscriptions. So you could join the Nike list. You could join our 25, our 35 Feta. It works on any of the lists, and it's only for Cheddar Black subscribers. So you won't see this anywhere else. We're giving you the booster pack. If you happen to need more leads, I can't imagine how people would. If you need some more leads, we got that. And then we got 2 new things we're going to test this year. These are beta tests. So one of you guys want to talk about the Cheddar promo feed?
Yeah, so the Cheddar promo feed, the idea around this is that we are going to provide you with a list of the current promotions that our team is finding and are actually using on the leads themselves. So this list will be updated daily. It's going to happen after we do our normal delivery, but we're going to bring in all the current promos. That way, if there's a promo that doesn't end up on one of the Cheddar Black lists, maybe it ended up on one of our normal Cheddar lists, you'll at least know that that promo is happening and where it's happening at. So you're not going to get the lead, of course, but you're going to at least know, hey, at this store, this promo is happening on these types of items. So that's the one of the new things that we're bringing this year is the Cheddar promo feed. And then the next one, which I'm really interested about, and I love the logo that our guy did for this, but the Cheddar rejects. What are the Cheddar rejects? Cheddar rejects are rejected leads that our team decided is not worthy of being on a Cheddar list. Probably going to be things like mismatches, could be profit history, it could be, slow selling. The idea around this is here's a bunch of data points that we didn't deem worthy enough for a Cheddar list, but these could be good starting off points for rabbit trailing to understand different sources. We want to expose you guys to more sources, more suppliers, and more possible opportunities. With the rejects, those usually just kind of get lost in the process of building the list. So instead, we're going to take that. We're going to share with you some of our favorite rejects from that day. And it's just going to be a tool to help you start a rabbit trail sourcing day. These are not leads that you're going to want to buy. You may choose to buy them, but we are rejecting them for a reason. So they are meant to be a starting off point.
So stuff that just misses the cutoff, like there's a lot of great inventory. We've talked about this for years that we should probably expand our criteria. We've got really tight criteria for what constitutes as a lead. So anything that just falls just underneath that a lot of you and a lot of people might say, hey, this is a great lead. I didn't know that this particular shoe or this particular, this had stuff, and it'll lead you into that store and kind of tip you off to stuff. So both of these things are meant to be feeds. They're brand new for this year. We're going to see if y'all like them. If you guys, we're going to run them basically through January. Is that right? Yep. The promo feeds and the rejects list will run through January. So you'll get 5 months of that as well. You get it all packaged up into one big thing. We're not going to ask you to pay $7,000 though. We're not going to ask you to pay $5,000, and we're not going to ask you to pay $2,000. I think we charged $2,000 for this package retail for folks that were not subscribers last year. So who's heard enough? We've got 150 spots. Who's heard enough and is ready to join Cheddar Black? We're going to open the cart here and let you guys have at it. So if you're ready to join, we've got 150, and after the early birds, I think we're down to 120 something seats. We cap it that way on purpose. Head over to cheddarblack.com. The sales page should be open. Taylor, if you want to grab that link and maybe throw it in the chat. I've got it pulled up here. I'll let you pull it up. And while she's pulling it up, Grant, I'm going to address a question real quick. You hit it already, but I think it's worth to pull up. Let me go back here. And if there's a bunch of questions here. So if you guys ask something, please just retype it because I wasn't watching the chat for the last 10 minutes here. I can't see the question, Grant, but how do you address people that are gated? So here's the question, and this is useful for a lot of people. So if we're total newbies and gated in so many brands and categories, is this going to be useful? How would you approach, this list if you were gated in a lot of categories? And we get this question a lot, so I think it's fair to talk about.
I mean, so if I was gated in a lot of categories and brands, like if I was brand new, I would want as many leads coming to me for as cheap as possible, right? I would be thinking about the cost per lead, right? And getting as much inflow as possible, because that's going to either expose me to what I can sell, right? Because you might be gated in a lot of things. You also may not realize what things you are all ungated in. And we can expose you to not only the things that you're gated in that you already know about, or some that you do and some that you don't, but we can also expose you to brands and leads and stuff that you're ungated in that you don't already know about. Not to mention the opportunity to rabbit trail. So when you find the stuff that you can sell, leverage that, use the skill sets you've learned through, OA Challenge and these other different things where you're learning how to do your own sourcing, hopefully, and leverage the leads we're giving to you to rabbit trail to find more stuff that you can buy, right? That's what I would do. And that's my honest to God answer if I was brand new to this business. And it sounds self-serving, but this is what I do, right? We leverage lead lists, and we always have. If I was brand new to this industry, one of the first things I invest in is lead list. And I know that's contradictory to what some people say, but I honestly just think they're wrong.
There's a lot of leads. If you're a new seller, focus on what you can sell is what I would say. And that's the benefit to having a ton of data. Focus on what you can sell and drill down. There's something for everybody. I can tell you that. So Kelly asked to see the slide. I don't know if we mentioned the price. So it's not $7,000. It's $1,500. It's one time. If you divide that over a year, this is a cheaper deal than if you were to buy one of our lead lists. I think if you subscribe to our Cheddar 25 list, it's like $2,300 for the year. I think it's like $200 a month. So this is cheaper than that. And we're doing something unique this year. We've decided to make the Black Friday only list available. So for brand new people that just want to stick their toes in the water, we're going to open that up to 50 sellers. And we thought a lot about this. The Black Friday list is mainly a retail arbitrage opportunity. So you're going to be sourcing out of these stores regionally. So what you find in South Carolina will be different than I find in Colorado, will be different than what people find on the West Coast. So we've got 150 seats, 100 and whatever's left now on the main package. And then we're going to open up the Black Friday only list. The real value is being a part of Cheddar Black though. So that's the whole package, everything y'all get. Okay.
Taylor, did you see that the counter's a little messed up? It's 262 spots open. I don't know if it'll allow more than 150, but it's a little high right now.
Oh yeah. Nope. This is a little bug with the counter sometimes when multiple transactions. We'll get that fixed up.
We'll play with the bug. I'm going to give some shout outs real quick while you guys are signing up. So go sign up. You're not going to miss any content. You can keep the webinar open in the background. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Todd. Todd Beecher's in the house. Glenn Garvin's just signed up. Claudia Chase just signed up. So welcome. Michael Gindy just signed up. Welcome. Appreciate you guys joining. We've got a bunch of testimonials, guys. This isn't just, I don't just trust what we're saying. Leah Modlin, Cheddar Black made my first real Q4 on Amazon. Amazing. We love Leah. She's gone on to do some amazing things. Scott says solid leads that are well vetted, and the OA Cheddar team is great to work with. Appreciate hearing that, Scott. 3+ years with Cheddar Black. That's a sweet picture, by the way. Adam Peterson. I love that picture. Sweet 3+ years with Cheddar Black, and every year has been exceptional. So 2 thumbs up, Adam. Appreciate you, man. Want you to have a great year. This is everything you guys get. I don't know what else we can give you to be successful besides doing the purchasing for you. We try and give you this all packaged up, have it coming to you all Q4. We got a bunch of other people saying some awesome stuff. Josh Baker says the best lead list ever. Their CheddarSoft software makes sending inventory and keeping track of leads easy. Adam Peterson, I would highly recommend Cheddar Black. Susan says OA Cheddar has been one of my best Amazon investments in the past 12 months. It has opened my eyes to so many new sources. Carmen Luca, who I believe I saw her name signed up already. I'm a paying member for 3 years or more, and it'll be my 3rd year to get the Cheddar Black. So appreciate you, Carmen. Ed Dassey, I think I saw in chat, this is Ed's 4th or 5th year. So welcome back. Jeannie, awesome. Welcome back. Appreciate you signing up. Go ahead and do that. Here's the scoop, guys. We capped this program. So this is limited to 150. We had about 250 plus people register for this webinar. We had over 100 of you on live with us this entire time. So I fully expect this to sell out. So if you already know in your heart you want this, I would go grab your seat now. We do have some partners this year. They're going to be sending out messaging out this broadcast to their email list after the program. So over the next couple of days, you're going to see a lot of people come in. So if you already know you want it, go to cheddarblack.com, grab your seat. And let me give some other shout outs, Grant, while we're sitting on here. I'll just pull this up in real time.
Kelly asked if we could go to the value breakdown and just so that she can look through all that.
You can just camp down. So let me do that. Look, I got it right there. Teresa Dean, welcome. Appreciate you. Lynn Feria, sorry for butchering your last name. Welcome. Adam Peterson, we said what's up. I think this is going to be year 4 for him. Sandra Murphy, Chandra, welcome back. I saw you getting in yesterday, so appreciate that. Adam Allen Futrell, that's a sweet last name, by the way, Alan. Welcome, man. Appreciate you. John Patterson. We got a bunch of you guys. Tina Rogers in the house. What's up, Tina? Jerry Frost in the house. Appreciate you. Angela Heimer, I believe is how you say your last name. What's up, Angela? Wayne Richardson's in the house. Sean Takamatsu. What's up, Sean? Welcome. Gary Stevens, familiar name. I've seen you. Erie, welcome. Ed Dassey, I said what's up to already. A bunch of you guys are starting here. Scott Charette. So anyways, appreciate you guys. Love to see you guys taking action right away. 5th year, brothers. Awesome, Ed. So I want to say thanks to you guys. We're going to wrap this webinar up here in about 2 minutes, and then we'll hang out and answer some questions if you all have some specific questions. So go ahead and put those in the chat, and I'm just going to start at the bottom of this chat feed. If you guys have questions about anything we talked about today or the offer or any of that stuff, go ahead and put them in there. And I will say this before we conclude this recording. This is part 1. Part 2 is tomorrow. And you're going to want to come back from this. Today, we went really deep into the merchant fulfilled stuff. A lot of people like it. It's very specific. Tomorrow, we're going to open up the hood and talk about, and Grant's probably going to cry again because he got his account suspended not once, but twice last year after he had made the decision to double his business, and he's still on track to do that. It's quite the zero to hero story. You're going to leave tomorrow. You're probably going to laugh tomorrow. You're probably going to cry, and you're going to want to buy Cheddar Black. It's going to happen in that order. And it's tomorrow, Saturday, August 24th. This is part 2 of our series. And this is it, guys. This is like, if you've been on our list, we don't email you guys very often. We do this pre-Q4 training series every year as our gift to you. And this year we decided we were originally going to save the merchant fulfilled training that we just did today as a bonus for customers. And we said, in the spirit of generosity, let's just give everybody everything. So that's why you guys are on here today. So be back tomorrow. Set a reminder on your phone for 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, same time, same channel. And you're going to want to come back for that. It's going to be great. So
awesome.
So thank you. Cool. Marco, I saw this from Marco and a couple other guys. Actually, you know what, Taylor? Why don't, if I end the stream, it'll end the recording, and then we'll have to jump off, right? So we're going to take questions live, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have to take questions live.
So Marco, and I saw somebody else, it sounds like the word's been getting out about CheddarSoft, that people are recommending us as the place to keep your leads, which is great. I'm glad that the word's getting out. If you guys need help with that at all, send us a private message. I don't want to put Taylor's email publicly since this is going to go out to a lot of people. Shoot us a private message, really either of the 3 of us or OA Cheddar on Facebook, and we will get you an email and we can set up a time to help you guys get your leads imported. There's a small learning curve. Once you figure it out, you're going to be off to the races. So Marco, and I saw another, it was farther above. So
yeah, if you, I would actually say if you go right inside of CheddarSoft, there's a chat feature down on the bottom right-hand corner that can start a chat with myself. And then when you're uploading, if you're having issues, you can submit over a ticket to us as well. And that actually takes the file that you're trying to upload and sends it to us. So it's super helpful, allows me to actually fix the issue and then send you back a response. But yes, we're here for you when it comes to help getting your leads uploaded. And then I've seen a couple of questions about, hey, if I'm already a CheddarSoft member, how am I going to get my 6 months for free? Inside the fulfillment email, there's a step-by-step guide on how to apply a promo directly to your account while you are an active subscriber. And yes, it will basically pause the billing for 6 months. And then if you're a new subscriber, there's another pathway that you'll need to take to start your account and then apply that coupon.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So yes, CheddarSoft coupon works for existing lists. Somebody else asked us a couple times, does the booster pack work on existing lists? So that one works on new list only. Mm-hmm. So if you're subscribed to something, I mean, that's our bread and butter. We use that to pay our team each month. And believe it or not, the margins on leads, guys, is really tight. Some people think we're getting rich. We're really not. It's an honest day's work. We work hard to deliver these leads for you guys. So that's to pay the team. But yes, you could use the lead booster on any new list you want to subscribe to for the next year. So this question was earlier. Kelly, I saw this earlier. Thanks for re-asking it. She would love to know where the lighting was sourced. I think that was your lead earlier, Grant. You talked about it was a Christmas lighting. Do you remember where that was from?
Yeah. So a handful of the best stuff that I sourced was from Hallmark. I just found, I dug in. I didn't, Hallmark.com. I didn't have a ton of time, so like when I was looking for stuff, I was really specifically looking for Christmas specific, like holiday specific items. And of course, Hallmark is a great source for that. So yeah, the big, my favorite item that I probably bought the most volume of was from Hallmark. You guys can go look there to try to find it. Now, if everybody finds it, it may not work. So that's why I have to be, so I may or may not even try buying that ASIN in particular, but yeah, Hallmark's a great source, you guys. I all the ornaments I had a ton of fun with because they're nostalgic. There's kind of like buying toys, and toys isn't as quite as easy and fun as it used to be. I mean, there used to be times where it's like there's a 10 good toys that you could just go and buy out and sell for a profit on Amazon. It just doesn't work that way anymore. I think it's so yeah, kind of looking for and of course merchant fulfill friendly, right? An ornament is this big, right? And so and I'm not talking like, regular old ornaments. I'm talking about like pop culture ornaments, Minecraft, old movies, right? Old Christmas movie or ornaments, Disney, and it's random. And again, and all the ones that I sourced directly off of OH Header. They were delivered by OH Header. If I had, been earlier to the game and I had the ninja skills that a lot of you guys have, I think in rabbit trailing, I would have used those leads and found a bunch more ornaments to source for that peak season merchant fulfilling.
All right, there we go. Maybe we should. Hopefully you caught that. We're just going to zip that part up. And
it doesn't bother me.
All right. So I'm going to give a couple other shout outs, and there's some more great questions here if you guys want to hang out. So April Neal, welcome. Just saw you just signed up. Congratulations. Agnes, congratulations. Grabbed a spot. Looks like Michael Huggins is still working on it. So Michael, get that figured out. Anita Bishop Kelly in the house. What's up, Anita? Welcome. Lissa Thomas, I believe I saw your name. There you are. Yes. Lissa, what's up? Welcome. Glad to have you on here. She has a question, and I think this is a great question. She says, are the lead lists for 2025, or I'm assuming you meant this year, something that can be applied to a replens business model? So Grant, there is a way inside CheddarSoft. You guys can make your own list inside CheddarSoft. So you can tag leads however you want. So if you want to build your own replens list inside of CheddarSoft, you absolutely can. We don't design this list to be a replens list. There are replens on there. Taylor, anything you want to say about this? I know you guys, replens is everyone drools over replens. And then I talk to you guys, and it never comes up in conversation. It doesn't mean it's not important. I think it just means there's a lot of different business models. Grant, you just buy straight off the list. Taylor, is there any way to know? I mean, our team doesn't focus on replens. Taylor, you manage the team and kind of the vetting process. What would you say into this?
So no, our goal is to share any good lead no matter what. So if there's a sale and promo that is happening that makes that lead good, then we're going to share it. If the item is at full retail price at Walmart and is selling for a profit on Amazon, we're going to share that lead. So as far as replens go, you're going to have to go and identify those leads yourself and decide. There's definitely replens. There's stuff that we reorder over and over again from the normal cheddar leads. And I know the same thing with cheddar black. Actually talking to one of our customers before, one single lead, she just kept replenning. I think she made like $20,000 on this one lead that she found in cheddar black. She was selling it all year round. So we're not strategically going out and saying, okay, we're only looking for replens. Our goal is, hey, we're going to give you all the stuff that we can find. So that way, if you're doing replens, you can find those. If you like to target sales and promos, so that way you have, a barrier of entry that most sellers can't get into, you're going to be exposed to those types of opportunities as well. So really doesn't really matter what your strategy is. We should have something for you with this package.
Mm-hmm.
We try and give something for everybody, guys. And it's when I look at this, Grant, every year I look at this, the value, we put more and more into this. And every year I look at this, I feel like we're too cheap. That's just my gut. I feel like $1,500 for a year-long lead list with over 3,000. Let's just assume we deliver 3,000 leads this year. I mean, I would challenge anybody to find a source of leads, quality, pre-vetted OARA leads for 40 cents a lead anywhere. I would love to know how they're doing that, because it takes a small army for us to produce this for you guys. And we've staffed up too. We've beefed up our team. We do every year. We just hired, what do we hire, Grant?
Five or six, right? Taylor would know better, but I want to say I've seen like 5 or 6 new people come in.
New sourcing aid. We staff up for this year so we can do the work. Let us do the work so you guys can research, place orders, grow your business.
Also, Taylor's in the trenches. So like one thing I think is going to be different that I'm excited about is Taylor, we've always done as much outsourcing as we possibly can. Taylor is working with our quality control team, just improving and sharpening the axe there. We're changing our standards up a little bit because we've discovered that I think in some ways our standards are strict in such a way that it limits us from providing some really low BSR opportunities. That they just fall below our standards, and then we can't deliver them, and then but they're bouncy, they come back up, and so we've identified some of those restrictions that are not good for us and prevent us from delivering more leads. So we're opening up our standards, which I think is actually we're not lowering our standards. I think we're opening our standards. It's a difference. There's a difference there. Taylor's going to have his finger on the pulse of delivery every morning. So thank you, Taylor, for that sacrifice, because you do have to get up real early for that. Your wife is like punching you in the morning when your alarm's going off, I've heard. So, like we thank you for that. And then also Taylor's going to be available with these hangouts. And that's one of the things that I'm probably the most excited about. I mean, obviously the leads, like that's a given. But in terms of stuff that we're really leaning into, because we forgot to highlight that one, Gabe, because like, we got promo feed and rejects 3-month booster, but we didn't highlight the fact that these hangouts are brand new. I tinkered with this last year, but Taylor and I's personality is different. Taylor is the right man to host hangouts and show up every week for it. I just kind of did it on a whim and got a ton of value from it, but talked myself out of doing more of them after the third. So I'm excited about Taylor leading the charge on that. I'm excited about showing up and letting Taylor do the hosting, and then I'll be there to answer questions and add value as we're hanging out. And there's going to be 150 of us that are invited to those hangouts. I would expect maybe 40 people show up to the first one, and then it's probably, as the season goes on, it'll kind of narrow down into like the core group. And so you could be one of those people as part of that core group that's meeting with us on a regular basis. I promise you, probably above and beyond, like those of you that are asking about leads and like restrictions and all this stuff, just hanging out. I'm getting chills thinking about this, because if I was you, this is the message I need to hear. Just getting on a face-to-face call and having a conversation with us. This isn't going to be like you behind a chat like we are today, where we can't make eye contact. You're going to have an opportunity, if you choose, to turn on your camera with us and have a conversation and ask questions and share what's working and not working in your business and get help. So just being a part of those conversations had a huge impact, Taylor, just a little bit on thinking of
for us
and Maria and Ed, and having those, Tori and some of those girls. So
no, there is last year in some of those hangouts. I mean, there is bits of information that we were learning that helped honestly completely change the way we were sourcing, moving into the next year. And sources, things like that. So these hangouts are going to be super powerful. I have a question here. Is there a set time for those hangouts to be happening? As of right now, my plan is I'm going to send out a poll to all the new Cheddar Black members, get an idea of what is kind of the best day of the week, best time of the week. I'm going to try to focus in on those. But don't be surprised if we change the time up a little bit, just so that way we give those folks who might be working an opportunity to hang out more in the evening. Some of those who are more morning people, maybe they want to jump in the morning. So we'll eventually kind of hone into like the right time, right day of the week. But they are going to be weekly. This is going to be a check-in. This is going to give you guys an opportunity to come in and say, hey, why was this lead shared? Or what do you think of this? And have conversations surrounding the actual Cheddar Black leads. And we don't have to worry about exposure, because these are only for the Cheddar Black members themselves.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. This is almost 2 hours, and we've got to populate this recording, let it render, get some emails sent out with recording, and then we've got to prepare for you guys for tomorrow. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna take 2 minutes though. I'll give a quick shout out to Cindy Rooney, our awesome support manager. Thank you, Cindy. A lot of you guys have talked to Cindy, so be really nice to her when you talk to her. She's amazing. I want to give a couple other quick shout outs. Elizabeth Apuli just got in. So Elizabeth, congratulations. I saw Michael Huggins got it figured out. So awesome, Michael. Good to see you in here. Kyle Davis grabbed the Black Friday list. That's great. April, I said April Neal already. So sweet. One thing I didn't mention, guys, and I'm just going to say this at the end. I don't think we have a slide. We probably want to I'm going to make a note for tomorrow. We're doing something. There is a 3-pay this year.
Oh, so,
yeah, there's a 3-pay. If y'all want to break it up into 3 payments, you pay a small finance fee to do that, but you can pay, I think, $540 today and then 2 more payments of that. So if you're balling on a budget, do that. We make that available for you guys while supplies are available. And I can't stress this. Every year is a little bit different. Once the group fills, it closes, and it's closed for the entire year. There's no back doors. We've had people message us every year that I can remember of that the launch is closed and they're like, hey, this, that, whatever. Can I get in? And I hate to tell people no, but that's one time I have to tell people no. So your chance to get in is now. If you know you want it, the site has the payment plan on there. I think if you just click on any one of those buttons, Grant, scroll down and click on any of the buttons. Yeah, the enroll now buttons. So if you hit that, the payment plan is right on the checkout page. Go ahead and hit that button.
I want to hesitate just because I might have an email pre-populated in there
okay. Once you hit the checkout, Taylor doesn't want his email on the internet. I wonder why.
Well, it just hit me. I'm like, I should probably be careful before I click on this button. I don't want
to. Sweet guys. Well, hey, I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending some time with us today. We pray that this was a good investment for you, that you got some encouragement. It's always nice just to be with sellers. I feel like as entrepreneurs, we're oftentimes isolated and we all live in our little corners of the universe. So I love it when you guys are connecting on chat. I love to see you guys here. And that's another reason for the Hangouts. I want you guys to be able to come out and network. Grant and I could tell stories for days of the masterminds that I've been a part of have paid dividends in the hundreds of thousands beyond what I've paid. And I've spent good money to be in masterminds like 10, 20K before. So to be a part of a group like this, that's as affordable as it is. If you can make one friend, Grant, I know you met one guy that changed your life about 6 years ago at an event, and he told you he spent 2 minutes with you and changed your whole life. Told you to go scan everything. This was back when you're doing retail arbitrage. So you're only one tip away. And I've learned this, guys. This is the last piece I'll leave you with. Money loves speed, and and success loves people that take action. And you got to get in the room, though. You've got to be in the room to get the results, and that's what Cheddar Black is. So I want to say thanks to all you guys, Ed Dassey, Kelly, Alyssa. There's many more that I can't say thanks. Emily Town, a bunch of you guys that are on today. Thank you for being here. Anything in closing, gentlemen?
Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to the next webinar.
Right on. Awesome. Have an awesome day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Cheddar Black. See you later.
Yeah, bye, Cheddar Black. Let's do it.
Bye, Cheddar Black.